It's July 20th, 2024. I should have probably made this video before I did now, but I feel impressed to bring what the Lord showed me almost a year ago now. And it was a warning, and I just kind of, to give you a kind of the backdrop of what went on. It was on September the 2nd of 2023. We were in the living room. My family and I were spending some time in prayer. My wife, she said, well, let's just take a second, we'll pray, and we'll ask the Lord to give us a Bible verse, and then we'll read the verses. So we got down and I prayed for just a minute, and then the Lord gave me the verse. When he gave me the verse, he gave me Matthew 25 verses 4 through 8. But ordinarily when he gives me a verse, I have to look it up. I don't know what it says, but when he gave me that verse, he instantly made me know exactly what it said. And when I got up, and we were all going to share our verses, my wife asked what the verse was. Before I could express what it was, I began to weep. And I said, the Lord had said that he's coming soon, and his people are not ready. And then I read Matthew 25 verses 4 through 8, and it says, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go you out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. And the Lord administered that to me, and it just rang in there. And we prayed. Well, the next morning we were at church, and it's like the hand of the Lord was on me, heavy upon me. I just felt like a great burden on me. And as we sat in the church service, I couldn't get these verses out of my head. And so I looked again, just to look at it, opened my Bible, and I noticed something I've never noticed before. We had the wise and the unwise, but it said that they all slept. It says, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. I never really paid attention to that. And then as soon as I read that, the Lord said, he just spoke up within me and said, wake up and get the unwise ready. And this was just an alarm to me, that how can we get the unwise, what's going to happen, what's going on here. But he said that us who are awake, us who are aware, don't sleep, don't be lazy, but to help get the people who are unwise ready. And so now this carried on, that after we went home, the hand of the Lord still heavy on me, just a great burden. And I told my wife when I got home, I said, I've got to go in here and pray, because it was such a heavy burden. So I went in and I began to pray, and I kneeled before the Lord, and as I began to pray, I seen almost like I was on a wall, on the wall of one of the old cities, how they built the wall around it. I was on that wall. I was on the back side of it, and in front of me there were the men who were supposed to be keeping watch, and they were asleep. And in the distance I seen mountains and a great multitude of people coming toward the city from those mountains. And it was like a huge army. And then all of a sudden they were right there at the wall. They weren't far off anymore. They were right at the wall. And whenever I saw that, the Lord said for me to say, wake up, you watchers, for that was far off is now close at hand. Wake up and sound the alarm, make the people ready, because it will not tarry any longer. So this is why I feel so bad about making it. I'm just trying to be led by the Lord, but this has been on September the 3rd of 2023 that he said this. And I've spoke to some people and said, but I've never made any public announcement about it. That's why I want to do that and get this out. But he said, wake up, you watchers. Now, at first I thought he was talking about watchmen, Because you know it talks about watchmen in the Bible being on the wall. You're supposed to be keeping watch. But he said, "Wake up, you watchers." And he was speaking earlier about those who sleep and slumber and are unwise. So if you're one that has been just sitting back and watching and looking and not being active, having your eyes on Jesus, not being active and being close to him, not being active and seeking him, it's a time to get that straightened out. I just feel that what the Lord gave this almost a year ago, that it was needful at this time to express this as a warning to all of us, especially those of us who have unsaved loved ones in our families, that we should, through love, because God only works through love, to compel them to turn to the Lord Jesus, to reach out to them, because I don't think he's talking about Jesus is coming back soon. He's talking about, here in this vision, he made me to know things that were going to be coming to America soon. Some hardships and some things that were going to be coming. And for us who don't have our eyes Jesus, who are not standing on a firm foundation, Jesus Christ is the firm foundation. I'm not talking about doctrine. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about knowing the Lord Jesus and being in his word, to know what his word says. If you're not in his word to know him, you're going to be shaken. You're going to have unsteady footing under you. You will not be able to stand. But all of us who will stand firm in Jesus, we will be okay. Even if something bad was to happen, it will be okay, because our confidence is in Jesus and everything's going to be all right. But I just want to put this out there for us to wake up, for us to look and to be expectant of what's coming, and are not in fear, but in full confidence of the Lord Jesus Christ. And if we have our full confidence in him, that means we're going to be seeking him steadily and always, not being asleep. You know, when he had his disciples in the garden, when he went to pray before he was crucified, he told them to pray, and he went forth and he prayed. He said he came back and they were asleep. He did this a couple of times. And then he told them, he said, you know, the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. It's time for us to wake up and to really look to him, and to put off these things that are going on in the world, and to really look to the Lord Jesus, to lean on him. I pray you guys would hear this and it goes out and it doesn't fall on deaf ears, but that you would just come and lean on the Lord Jesus Christ. He loves you. Everything that we need in this life is in the Lord Jesus Christ. We're made complete in him. It tells us that in Colossians. But just look to him and share his love with those around you who may not know him. God bless you all.